310 HP is insane. It's an insane stat for me to see.
I'm here with my friend Zen. He's a top Pokemon Pocket player, and today I'm going to be having him rank Pokemon TCG cards. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm Zen. I play Pokemon Pocket. I've dabbled with, the official TCG, but I pretty much stay with Pokemon Pocket. My bread and butter.
How long have you been playing the game for?
Since it soft launched in New Zealand.
All right, you're an OG. So you've been playing the game for a while. Do you have any notable finishes in the game?
I've gotten a ton of top cuts, and I actually won a tournament back with the Mythical Islands expansion for those of you that play Pokemon Pocket and remember the Celebi meta. Yeah, I took Celebi to a tournament and I won. Lucky coin flips. Great time.
Lucky coin flips. Yeah, I hear a lot about Pocket being all about the coin flips and going like first or second and stuff like that. All right, cool. So I'm gonna send through a few cards, and I'd like you to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10, and we'll see how accurate you are. Because obviously the card power is a little bit different from Pocket to the TCG, so I feel like some of these might be surprising, but some of them might be a little bit underwhelming, if you'd say.
I got you. Sounds good.
So first card up, we have Gardevoir EX.
I feel like this might be a pretty good card, to be honest. Just because it seems like it has ramp potential. In Pocket, anytime there's a way to, cheese out energy onto multiple Pokemon, you typically have an advantage on that. So I think it's pretty good. The damage counters on your Pokemon, like I know a little bit about TCG, but that could be a problem, but I'm sure there are cards that get around that, maybe even use it to your advantage. I'll say like a good 7-8 on this card, Gardevoir EX.
7, 8? All right,
Yeah.
cool. So the reason I showed it to you is because when I last played Pocket, I played Mewtwo Gardevoir. So I knew Gardevoir was also an energy acceleration engine. I just wanted to see like the difference between the energy acceleration engine here and in the Pocket. So it is quite different. But what you said about the damage counters is a good call. It can be an issue, but there's quite a few cards that can get around it. With this next card, if you read the second attack, you can tell me what you think. So I'm happy you gave Gardevoir a 7. I'm going to show you a few cards, and then you can give me your rating on Gardevoir again in a bit.
All right, so we got Drifloon here, 70 HP, Gusts for 10, Balloon Blast. This attack does 30 damage for each damage counter. Oh, that's kind of cracked. Are there cards that also boost the HP? Because if you could make this,
indeed.
If you could make this a bigger HP, you can attach as many counters and, I don't know, do 200, 300 damage. I don't know. I'm just saying wild numbers, but I do know that Pocket's HP base is typically lower because going back to that Gardevoir, 310 HP is insane. It's an insane stat for me to see. But yeah, I know you get. Yeah. Typically, the highest thing in Pokemon Pocket, I'm pretty sure is just 190 HP, and that's a Venusaur, stage 2. So
That's
yeah, I think
funny.
this is pretty nice synergy right here between Drifloon and the Gardevoir EX. I still think it's 7-8.
7, 8? All right, cool.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that the highest HP is 190 because Gardevoir's attack does 190, and that's considered like not a great number. That's considered quite low in the game for a stage 2 attack. So the next, also synergizing with the Gardevoir, would be Screamtail. I know that in Pocket, there are some Gust cards, and doing damage to the bench is also really good because I'm pretty sure there's that Gust card called Cyrus, where you can Gust things up that have damage.
This attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each damage count. Oh my god. That just keeps getting... That number can go... How high can that number get to?
So it can do 240 damage to the bench, and the Drifloon can do maximum 300 damage to the bench. I mean, to the active.
Wow. Kind of happy these don't exist in Pocket, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a bit broken. And then, like you said, sometimes, so these cards utilize the damage counters to help them. But obviously, if you want to attack with a Gardevoir, like that doesn't really gain anything from the damage counters on it. So there is another card that I want to show you that can also help the Gardevoir while it's placing the damage counters.
Ooh, I actually do know of this card. This is what I was thinking of. But you're saying this works with the Gardevoir?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, cool. That's what I was thinking of when I said like having damage could actually be a good thing, because I remember reading this card a long time ago. I was like, oh, that's kind of a neat ability. So yeah, no, this is pretty awesome.
Yeah. So what would you give like the Gardevoir package out of 10, would you say right now?
out of 10, rating it on, like, since it's the first one I'm seeing and I don't know what else is there, I think I'll stick to a solid 8. I think it's pretty solid. I like it. I like it because it's like, it seems like it requires a little bit more skill expression, which Pocket, you know, kind of has, but it really doesn't. Like, you just go big cards fast and go boom and win the game, right? But this feels like, yeah, this feels like there's a lot of skill expression between the Gardevoir EX package. But I'm gonna say 8 because I don't know what the other cards you're gonna show me today.
All right, cool, fair enough. So for this next, I'm gonna show you 3 cards. So in the Pokemon TCG, there is a mechanic called A-Specs. A-Specs are cards that you can only have 1 copy of per deck. So obviously in the TCG, decks are 60 cards, and you can have a max of 4 of each. Unless it's energy, then you can have as many energy as you want. But A-Specs are limited to 1 per deck. You can't play more than 1 per deck. So I'm going to send you 3 A-Specs, and I'd like you to tell me which one you think sees the most and is the best.
Okay, sounds good. All right, let's see. First one I'm looking at is Hero's Cape. Plus 100 HP. Listen, that seems like a really good ace spec. These are the pink cards. I know these cards. You can only have 1 of these cards in your deck?
Yes, only 1.
Secret Box. You can use this card only. You discard 3. That's such a huge trade-off. Search your deck for an item card, Pokemon tool, and a supporter card, and a stadium. Okay, well, they kind of just... That's pretty solid. You get rid of 3 and then you just pretty much get everything you need. Reel them and put them into your hand. And then finally, Amulet of Hope. The Pokemon this card is attached to is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon. Search your deck for up to 3 cards. All right. Okay. I'm going to rate this in order. I think the 3rd best is Amulet of Hope, because in order to get that benefit, you're giving up a prize point, or it's prize cards for TCG, right? So you're kind of losing a Pokemon. That's what I'm going to put in 3rd. I think the Hero's Cape is pretty solid, but I'll put that in 2nd because 100 HP, I mean, I'm sure there's a Pokemon that can just destroy the 100 extra HP like it's no problem. I don't know numbers like what a good HP stat is. Like we have a Giant Cape and it's plus 20. And that feels super good, but also super not good in certain situations. So I really don't know how to compare this with the other numbers in the official TCG. But going to the next one, the Secret Box. First, the trade-off of discarding 3 cards from your hand seems like a lot. But I'm sure there are certain cards in the game that like benefit from being in your discard pile. But on top of that, we don't have this mechanic at all in Pocket. In Pocket, we can search for a random card. You're never allowed to search for the exact card you're looking for. So being able to search your deck for an exact item card, Pokemon tool card, a supporter card, and a stadium card that you want, I think seems pretty OP. But I could be wrong entirely. But that's, yeah, I'll put that at first. What do we think?
I'm gonna be real. You got it spot on. So
really,
Secret
let's go.
Secret Box is broken right now. Because it synergizes very well with decks like Gardevoir. So if you read the Gardevoir EX, it requires the energy to be in the discard pile. So you can now discard the energy with the Secret Box and just get a complete setup. Like you were saying with the numbers. So you're not too familiar with the numbers. I'm pretty sure in Pocket, it's also like you can kind of hit unlimited damage in a way. Like with the Celebi deck, correct me if I'm wrong, it was like flip a coin. For each heads, you do 50 damage per energy attached to it.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, cool.
I do think it is capped in the game. I don't know if they patched it, but I think the max damage you could do is 990.
990.
Tested it before, yeah. Which nothing is surviving, but I don't think you could do more damage than that.
All right, fair enough. So on the topic of doing a lot of damage, I'm gonna show you 2 cards that synergize quite well together in the game, and I'd like you to tell me what you think of this deck.
Oof. I feel like, so I'm actually familiar with the Teal Mask Ogre pun and the Raging Bolt, because when I tuned in to TCG, when TCG Pocket came out, I was interested in the official. I was like, oh, let me see what these cards are. And around that time, I think this was one of the good decks, right? When I checked it out. So I played it a little bit and it felt incredibly strong because you can just get going so fast. Now, I don't know how good it is now compared to everything else, But like when I played it, just being able to attach an energy, Teal Dance, draw, get your cards, and then the next card you sent me, the supporter card, Professor Sada's Vitality, being able to just rebring those energy, and then Raging Bolt's Bellowing Thunder 70 for any energy on the board. You could just do, you could literally just one shot everything. Also, what is that one card? Boss's Orders. Throw in a boss's order, yeah, in this, and you just get 2 points every time your opponent puts down an EX. That's at least how I remember it. I don't know if anything's changed. However, I don't know if this is better than the Gardevoir package. I mean, I'm a little biased to this. I like this a lot. I played this. Now I won't say a lot, but I played this a few times, and I feel like it's incredibly strong. But I'll put a solid 8 on this too, man. I don't know. Maybe the rating system should be 1 through 5. I don't know, but I'll go for 8 here
8
as well.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
cool. So now I'm gonna show you a card that is in TCG, and I'm pretty sure it's also in Pocket, but just the text is different. And I'd like you to tell me what you think about the card as a card in TCG, but then also if this card was released in Pocket, what you'd think it would be like out of 10 as well there.
Okay. Professor's Research. Oh, okay. Discard your hand and draw 7 cards. Yes. In the official TCG, I think this is a really good card. I mean, it depends on the strategy, right? Like going back to that Gardevoir EX you showed me, I can imagine like what if you have 6 psychic energies in your starting hand or whatever. Just discard them all and then get closer to the cards that you need to get your engines going. So I think it could be good depending on like what your deck is, if it utilizes things from the discard pile. In Pocket, I don't think it'd be good to discard your whole hand and draw 7. Unless you can thin out your hand to only like 1 card. Then I think it'd be really good. Yeah, I think it'd be good if
drawing cards is just really good in Pocket, right?
Yeah, for sure. I'm thinking about the discarding, right? Aspect, like the first part. But if you remove that, like, because you can definitely get away with it. Even in the official TCG, going back, you don't even need cards that synergize with your discard pile. If you just use everything from your hand that you need, then you could just discard whatever's left that you don't need and draw 7. Yeah, no, it's a 10 in each. Draw 7, yeah, draw more than almost half your deck.
Yeah.
GG's.
GG's. I'm going to show you 3 cards. I want you to give me just ratings on 1 out of 10 on all of them as well, and just think of which you'd say sees the most play.
Okay. I think I'll do good here. Hopefully. So, Pheasantipity EX.
Yes.
I don't even know what the next 2 are, but I'll say a solid 10 on this.
Solid 10?
Yeah. I think it's really good because of the ability. Like losing a Pokemon sucks, right? But this at least feels like you're not punished in a way, because you can draw from your deck and get closer to cards that really help you. I could be wrong. Maybe it's not a staple, but I feel like if I were to build decks in the official TCG, I'd probably throw in a Pheasantipity in almost every single one of my decks just to be like, yo, if they knock out my active, I'm going to be able to draw more cards. And like you said, drawing into your deck, regardless of it being a 20 or 60 card deck, is going to be great. That's what I think. You want me to just move on to the next card?
Yeah, you can move on to the next card.
Badu. Why is the energy like that?
So that means it doesn't cost any energy. So it's a free attack.
It's a free attack and it retreats for free, but the HP?
Yes.
It's an item lock card?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
That retreats for that's annoying. I mean, in Pocket, all you'd have to do is play the Darkrai EX and just chip damage it from your bench, right? But like, I'm sure there's something in the official TCG that does the same. Maybe it's not as oppressive. But wait a second, Rare Candy is what we got from the official TCG, and that's an item card. Yep. And that would stop Rare Candies. Oh my god, if this existed in Pocket, oh man, it'd be a tough time for a lot of people. I'll tell you. Darkrai Giratina are still thriving, but in the official TCG, I feel like it's also probably a really good card. But I don't think it's played more than Pheasantipity.
Cool, fair enough. And then there's the last one.
Sylveon EX. Does this also draw your entire deck? Let's see. 270. Oh, this is a Terra. What's the
This is a Terra.
extra? I believe Terras have like a extra effect or something, right?
So Terra's like it's quite disappointing because everyone assumed the effect would be really cool because the whole thing about Terra typing is that
Mm-hmm.
the typings might be different. But unfortunately, the only cool thing about Terra is that they don't take damage while they're on your bench. Um, and
Okay.
that's kind of it. There's a cool like Terra engine, but more on that later.
Okay. Magical Charm, 160 during your opponent's next turn. Attacks used by the defending Pokemon do 100 less. This would be amazing in Pocket. Pretty much just stop them from doing anything. Because right now Steam's Art does a guaranteed 150. But if you hit them with this, they're just doing 50 the following turn. You could like heal up and not worry about anything. Angelite. Choose 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Shuffle those Pokemon. And all cards attached. Oh, this is interesting. I mean, being a deck builder, like I feel like there'd be a lot of fun ways to build this. I'm just thinking like if they have something in the active spot that's pretty oppressive, you could just boss's orders and then Angelite and be like, bye-bye, right?
Yeah, you got it spot on there. So
Okay.
if you think about it, Gardevoir, right, has to build up to stage 2 and also has to build up all of that energy onto like the attackers that they've spent the entire game getting rid of. Now, if you bosses orders up something meaningless and just shuffle back their Gardevoir and shuffle back that energy attached back into their deck, Gardevoir's now sitting there with no Gardevoir and no energy in discard because you've just shuffled it all back into the deck.
Yeah. I don't think like I think this just could be like you said, is this the niche card? This is pretty
This
spicy.
is the niche card, yes.
I like it. I like it a lot. Is there any
So
other
you
ways that
actually
you
gotta-
play this?
So that's kind of like the main way you play it is with the Terra engine. So what the Terra engine is that there's a card called Knocked Owl, which when you evolve it from Hoothoot, if you have a Terra Pokemon in play, you can search your deck for up to 2 trainer cards, any 2 trainer cards, which is really good. And then using cards like Crispin, which searches your deck for 2 energy, puts 1 into your hand and 1 it gets attached to one of your Pokemon. You can power up Angelite quite quickly, and then you have another A-Spec, which is called Sparkling Crystal, which when attached to one of your Terra Pokemon, it counts as any energy. So you can kind of get it powered up in like almost 1 turn, and it is quite funny to just shuffle back your opponent's Pokemon and just not let them set up. But you actually got it spot on. So Pheasantipede is indeed the staple card. I mean, like you said, drawing cards in any scenario, especially like once you just got knocked out, is great. Badoo is really oppressive. And also a great thing you saw like was with the rare candy. That is another reason people play it in the deck, and it's actually changed the way people build decks. A lot of these stage 2 decks don't actually run rare candy anymore because of Badoo. And a lot of these decks also play a lot less items because the game used to be run by items. Like you had like maybe 20 to 30 items per deck. Whereas now there's a lot of decks that have switched from items to supporters because they know that they're going to run into Badoo. So it is a really cool card that has changed the way the game is played. I guess really cool might be an overstatement because it also is really annoying, but yeah.
I mean, it changed the meta though. That's pretty awesome. I mean, kind of like how we got rare candy introduced in Pokemon Pocket. That kind of changed the meta entirely. No one was playing stage 2s because it just took forever to get online. But once we got that 1 card, just deck building changed entirely. Again, it's a 20 card deck, so it's not like changing that crazy, that much. Yeah. But it is still changing nonetheless.
It's so cool to see Pocket players react to like cards when they release in the game. Like, this is broken. No way. What? It's like, fair enough. Thank you so much. You did really well. I think you literally got it all spot on, except I guess maybe for Gardevoir. But I showed you that first. As a way to kind of throw you off a little bit. But yeah, in the end, you kind of got the synergies down, and it was cool to like see how your brain clicked it when you remembered them like in an energy pile. They're actually in your deck. And then how like cards can synergize with like a secret box and research and stuff. So yeah, thanks so much.
Yep, no problem. Thanks for having me.